welcome to another installment of Property Vlogs. Guys, I'm so excited to show you this house to my left. So, what are we here to talk? We are here to talk the Philosopher. And the Philosopher is a house type by Bellway Homes. We are at Roman Gate, which is a development in Leicestershire. And the house behind me is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property. Its approximate size is 1,507 square feet. And at the time of touring it, it was listed from £417,500. Okay, so let's get into it. There's driveway access to the left and potentially a garage. Now, I'm saying potentially because this is a show home, so it's been zhuzhed up a lot. And the actual plot that you end up reserving may look very different from this. So you have to pick specifically what suits your family off plan. So looking at the Philosopher, I've already mentioned the stats. Let's go straight into the external tour. We've got an oversized porch canopy, a substantial amount. There is no step to get into the front door. That's really good. So it ramps up to get into the front door so you can have a level threshold entrance. You can see the windows and the doors are all white. You've got detailing above the windows there, a bit of a traditional nod, and the windowsills have that kind of slanted brick detail at the bottom. So with that being said, let's go past the garden, past these gorgeous shrubs, and get straight into the house and continue the tour. Come inside, settle down, and let's get straight into the tour. Okay, so first impressions, right? I am really liking the width of this hallway. Very good width. Definitely longer than the arms width. My arm span. Heights are great. I like this front door. It's a different color on the outside to the inside. So this is kind of like a white, bright palette on the inside. The diamond shade cut out in the door, the letterbox, all great touches, along with this kind of very long panel of obscure glazing. So it's completely private. You know, you can't have direct views in or out, but it brings in so much light into the space. I love seeing homes that are staged. That's why this channel is dedicated to show home tours, because you can see how you can live it and move around the space. You've got your shoe storage there, of like right where you need it, right by the front door. And you know, just that wall going in a little bit gives you that space. If it was me, I'd probably put a radiator cover on here, but with it being exposed means that we can point that out easily to you and tell you this whole hallway is heated, nice, cozy, and warm. The flooring itself is actually a ceramic tile, even though it looks like wood, so it's a wood effect ceramic tile. So it's going to be easy to clean, and these are grout lines that you can see between the different panels, the different ceramic planks. So in terms of the hallway, there is a door that way. We've got the upstairs this way. I'll talk about more about that a bit later, but let's talk about what's under here. This is our mystery door, but we already know it's going to be. It's going to be an understair storage. So you can see that it's housing the vacuum cleaner, a couple of bits and bobs, and your BT telecoms under there. So that's that. I also want to mention a little bit about the doors. There's a consistent theme, and I like the fact that they've carried it to this door. So we've got our very bright white high gloss doors, painted in a white shiny gloss finish, and then we've got these vertical panels, chrome handles. I'm used to seeing these handles. It's kind of like it's a staple in any new build home, isn't it? And then we've got this switch. So let me show you what's behind mystery door number 2. This is our downstairs toilet, an internal toilet with full height part of it over here. And then this part does have sloping ceiling, but the majority of it is actually a tall ceiling. You've got this decorative shelf detailing that they've done, which I really like. And they've gone with the half height tiling all the way around. Remember, tiling is a finish, so it's customizable. You might want to stick with the standard kind of splashback area and not go with half height because it will be an additional cost. But it's nice to know that's an option you can have. And then they've got the hidden cistern toilet, so it's that modern touch. And the toilets and taps are by Rocker. And the taps are by Bristol, but the toilets are by Rocker. I love the wood effect tile going into here. And then I like seeing this, guys. I like this, the heated towel rail. So let's close that off and come back here. And now I want to take you around this way to our first room on this floor plan. This is kind of like our home study, our home studio. It's a good size, as you'd expect. It is one of the modestly sized rooms on the floor plan, but usually a home study is. But again, it is staged as a kind of like a work from home area, maybe both parents work from home, or maybe you work with someone else, or maybe it's a study space. It can be whatever you want it to be. They've gone with a carpeted finish. Would you go with a carpeted finish? You know, it is a room off the front door. You might want to continue that tile all the way into here. But again, having the carpeting makes it nice and cozy. And should you want to use it like a playroom or a spare guest bedroom, then this carpeting works perfectly fine. I like what they've done with this little nook here. This could be swapped out for wardrobe space if you wanted to, but I like that bespoke open shelving concept there. Yeah, it's a good size, and they've gone with spotlights to kind of accentuate the corners of the room and a pendant above. I like that. I like it. I like it. And obviously we have a window. Coming back here, love this big mirror as well. Great. Don't know if that's a headache to install, you know, but I really like these design features. So the next room I'm going to show you is through here. This is our open plan. I like the fact that the door opens fully, so there is that space. It's not cramped. Welcome to your formal lounge, beautifully staged. Again, it's a very subtle theme. I was going to say it's a bit tropical, but it's not. It's a bit rustic, a bit warm. Love it. Comment below if you know comment below how you would describe this theme. There's elements of like kind of art deco elements. There's a bit of modernity going on there. We've got this TV, large TV, this kind of textured wallpaper. A lot of stuff going on. I really think it's very creative. But again, in terms of sizes, it's a great size. It fits 3 sofas, one of which is a large sofa, which is a 4-seater. We've got space for end tables at every corner around the room. And if you wanted, you could flip it around and have this be your focal point, and your sofa would go around here. You could probably put an L-shaped sofa here if you wanted to. But again, you can really appreciate the size and the proportion of the room. You've got a window again facing the front of the property, bringing in lots of nice light. And can you see the spotlights again? That's a nice addition. Yeah, and because of that, let me just show you guys. They have 2 switches. So things like this are normally customizable as well. So you can switch off the spotlights and have the pendants, or vice versa, you know. So as it gets darker, you can kind of create that mood lighting arrangement. So coming back into the hallway, now coming to the open plan dining, living area slash snug, and kitchen. Look at this kitchen, guys. This kitchen is so nice. Did you expect such a big kitchen in this floor plan? I'm not sure if when you saw the plan you expected it to look this nice. I definitely didn't. I think it feels much roomier than it looks on the floor plan, because all of this space in the middle, sometimes you have, well, we've seen it where they've put another dining table here or a kitchen island, but I like the fact that they've left it open. So the kitchen does wrap around, creating an L shape, and there's a bonus area over here. Let's work through it methodically, starting with this side. Let's talk about the finishes. So these are completely customizable. When we were in the sales room, the sales office, we could see they had various options available. They've gone in the showroom with this option, which is kind of like a concrete, like a white painted kind of, I was going to say a rough kind of appearance. It's very industrial, but it's been done in a laminate finish with a rounded edge. It's not fully rounded. I would say it's square, but without the sharp corners. And then they've gone with the upstands in that same material. We've got a shaker style cabinetry going all the way around with these chrome hinges. Again, everything is on soft closers. I love that for this open plan space. We've got sockets there with the USB charge points, which is really lovely to have. And this is an absolute treat. views of your rear garden from your sink space. The sink itself is a 1.5 bowl by Leisure with a mixer tap and with a swivel, easy to clean. And I like the tiled sill to the window as well. Very good for weatherproofing and waterproofing the sill. The kitchen, let's go through what's in the kitchen. We've got the dishwasher by Zanussi, whiz through storage, storage, storage. Again, you can see the inside is white. So it's more of your typical carcass on the inside with this beautiful colour actually and finish to the fronts of the cabinets. The wall mounted units are over here again. You can see you've got 2 shelves to each unit. We've got an induction hob here by Zanussi with four hobs, and then we've got our stainless steel splashback and our Zanussi extractor fan above it. So that's the combination that we're seeing in this house. Again, underneath that, we've got our space for our utensil and cutlery drawer. So you'd insert your cutlery, organize it in there, and lots of worktop and counter space, prep space, whatever you want to do with this space. But all your appliances can go in here. We've got additional storage in here as well. And by having handles, it's so easy to maneuver around. I know we see a lot of different styles, but having handles makes it so much easier to just know which side. Because sometimes it's like push here or press there or pull there. It's nice aesthetically, but something to factor in. There's a bonus room in there, which we'll talk about in a second. And then over here, we've got our fridge freezer in what looks to me to be a 70-30 arrangement. Double oven there by Zanussi. I love that. And additional kind of storage slash pantry space. Coming back, I won't keep you waiting for too long. You might as well see this beautiful room. This is your laundry slash utility room. I like the switch in the color from the green to the kind of like the earthy orange, rusty brown. I would call it a burnt orange. We've got a single stainless steel sink by Leisure, again with that same quality mixer tap, open shelving, aka a blank wall. Remember, this is decor, so you wouldn't get the shelving, you'd get the blank wall, and you could paint it whatever color and install the shelving arrangement that you want. Your boiler is over here. It's a Logic Heat H15, and then controls for the central heating. And then underneath we've got the storage there, and we've got on this side our Zanussi appliance integrated, so you can't even tell, and then more storage on this side. An additional bonus is obviously we've got the radiator keeping this utility laundry room nice and warm, and then this glazed door, which is what we're seeing, which allows the space to be filled with so much light, but it makes it easy for you to access the rear garden and dry your clothes and bring them back in to the laundry room. So are you impressed with what you've seen so far? If you are, do you want to come with me and let's go? Oh, guys, okay. Anyone who's watched our videos is probably like, you haven't even finished the room. I was going to go upstairs. Okay, we are going to keep this in this video. This is an authentic reaction, first impression tour. I got too excited. We haven't talked about this space. Gosh, Brian, I can't believe I almost missed this. This is a 8-seater table. And I like the fact they've left the end chairs off. If you have a lot of guests, you can stick them on. But to increase the circulation space, they've gone without this end chair. And of course, you can switch one of the sides out for a bench and increase the seating capacity. But again, I love the drop-down pendant they've gone with. Again, that would be one light source, and then you can have your electrician come in and install that. How could I forget this space? This living area is a fantastic add-on space. Just in case you were happy with the rest, there's even more space to look forward to. They've continued the flooring all the way over and gone with a cozy rug and a coffee table, armchair, and this sofa easily fits over here. Maybe you could flip it around or have an L-shape element here if you want a TV, that is, because you can then make the most of the view outside in the garden and then have the TV in that corner or that area. But again, what they've done with the staging is fantastic, gives you an idea about proportions, and they've gone with a TV on that wall. So you get the best of everything with this layout. And of course, we've got to talk about this double doors to access the garden. There is a step down, there's a gravel border all the way around for drainage, and things that we're seeing. We'll talk more about that in a second. I want to mention we've got 2 opening lights, so you can open the windows without having to open the full doors to get fresh air. And now we're going to go and do our garden tour using editing magic. And now I'm going to show you the garden. As you can see, it's been zhuzhed up, right? It's been staged. Even the garden has been landscaped and staged because this is a show home garden. You can see it has a difference in levels. There's a lower level and there's an upper level. If you were to buy this off plan, you'd get the paved area at the back of the double doors. And that would allow you to get your bins from the back around, and you can get to your garden and your utility room from this paved area, and then the rest of it would be completely turfed wall to wall. As you can see, they've gone with a circular theme. There's lots of miniature trees, shrubs and planting, sleeper walls and flower beds. You wouldn't get that because that's added landscaping for your kind of viewing pleasure, but the rest would be the same. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's jump back into the rest of the tour and continue from there. Okay, so now that we've finished looking at the garden, we've talked about everything else in this space. Let's go upstairs. Okay, now we are on the landing. Another good size, well-proportioned space. I am liking all of these spaces because we're moving away from the pokey kind of cupboard proportions. Love this full textured wall, and the addition of the gallery artwork, the gallery wall. Again, this is such a good way of creating a feature, and it's so subtle. But if you're planning on DIYing this yourself, you may need some help because there's some really tall wall to floor to ceiling heights here. But again, if you can pull it off and get someone to do that or get help, it is such an amazing feature. It just shows the proportions of this space. You can see straight from here to the front door. I like the balustrades and the balusters, which are solid wood, but they've been painted in that white, high gloss, white finish. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the first room on this floor, and that's over here. So we've got a wardrobe, so that's already where our wardrobe system will be. But come in to this space. This is a moody kind of teenager, skater boy, skater girl themed bedroom, and it's a double bedroom. As you can see, you've got a whole desk work study area over here, which could be swapped for another wardrobe system or tall dresser. And then you've got the double bed itself over here with space at the foot of the bed for you to walk around. You've got two bedside tables, radiator below your window, and you've got views of the front garden from here. I don't know how it's coming up on camera. I know there is a very intricate pendant light over there, and I hope the colouring and everything is coming. But because the lighting is quite dim, it's making the space look a bit dim in reality. But again, hopefully you're taking it all in. I love the decor. I love this wraparound paint work they've done with the spotlights either side. Again, beautiful, beautiful. Next room is over here, so come with me. Let's look at this single bedroom, again done as a gymnast's room. That's what the wallpaper is saying, but it's really colourful child's bedroom with a single bed in the corner. Again, if the occupants sound so like anonymous. The child that's living here, as they grow, you can upscale the bed. A double bed could easily fit against the wall. It would make circulation a bit narrower, but again, I like to point that out because this is the reality of life. It's good to look ahead and know that things can be accommodated and they can fit into the bedrooms as the person living here, the child living here grows. You've got this open wardrobe, which is more of a decorative feature because your real wardrobe system is over here behind me. And they've gone again with another fitted unit, quite a deep unit. So you know a deep unit can fit in here. And what's good about this is that this is probably going to be an optional upgrade or something you can just add on later on. But again, wardrobe space can be accommodated in here. Window facing the rear garden. We've got a radiator and it's a lot of boxes ticked. Love it. Again, we're seeing the spotlights everywhere. Let's switch these ones on. It's like a little feature. I love it. So coming back into the hallway, the next room is going to be our family bathroom. So it is a three-piece suite, toilet, sink and bathtub, a very long bathtub. Good size, and the room has been fully tiled, which is an optional extra. We've got the shaver socket located there. Your electric toothbrushes can just go there, or shaver. And then I love the fact that we've got a window as well. I love the depth of this as well, and the textured finish. It's a really nice option. And I like the fact that they've got a space here, which I'm pretty sure you can add a shower over the bath and then add a glass screen. You know, we see that all the time now in new builds as potential upgrades. So that's the question to ask the developer, or at least you know it's something you can do in the future. The flooring is gorgeous. We've got a heated towel rail, a chrome one, and then the spotlights are everywhere. So again, lovely finishes. Behind this mystery door is our hot water cylinder. I caught you off guard there. Hot water cylinder. It's a bit boring, but it's important for this house. And then this is this room. This is a really lovely sized and proportioned, I would say it's a guest bedroom, but it's a very indulgent room. I mean, whoever gets this is very fortunate. You've got large bedside tables, and I love this paneling. Really, really good detail to that. You know, it's very subtle, but it adds so much luxury to this room in terms of decor. It's a king size bed. We've got views of the rear garden again here from this large window, large picture windows, the radiator underneath that. And then the foot of the bed, we've got enough space to have another dressing table or maybe another wardrobe system, depending on how much storage you want. And then here they've gone with like a double wardrobe unit with sliding doors, but they could have brought that all the way up to the door if they really want to. The point of us saying this is to say that if you look at this and you think, oh, that won't be big enough for me, you can definitely customize that. If you need more or less storage, it's completely open to you. You could put the desk here if you wanted to, or a tall dresser, you know, and if you want to watch TV, it could go here. So we've said this before, it's a common trick. The mirror or the piece of artwork, excuse my voice, guys, indicates where the TV could go. Now we're saving the final room for you, and that is the primary bedroom. So, wow, guys. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let me go to the corner, the absolute corner of the room. This is the whole size of this primary suite, because there is an ensuite, which we'll show you later. We've got a large window facing the front of the garden, and then we've got a radiator underneath that. Love these curtains, love the decor. We've got a king size bed, but I think a super king could go here, right here, because you can see all the space of the foot of this bed. Or you can create like a little coffee station, put another armchair on this side, and then you can have like a really nice intimate space. Here, again, proportion wise, this is really good size bedroom. I know me and my storage needs. I would want to put dressers here, but do I need to worry about storage when I've got a full wall to wall sliding door unit with wardrobes? And these are very deep, guys, very deep and very tall, all the way to the ceiling. Storage at the top, hanging rails here, and then you can adjust the storage combinations and the configurations inside. Like if you want like dressers and whatnot, that's all for you to tailor to your specific needs. The pendant is very dramatic. You don't have to have this dramatic pendant, but again, ceiling heights allow you to do that because they're above the bed and you can easily, I mean, when you're in bed, you're not going to be at that level, or you can just change it for something that's more to your taste. And then, of course, we've got this, which I really love, the tiling here. Beautiful tiling, absolutely gorgeous. And I like the fact that every ensuite has had this perfectly paired wall to floor tiling. So they've gone probably to the same range and made sure they match perfectly. I love that. And they're different sizes. The ones on the walls are like rectangular, and the one on the floor is square. And the grout is slightly different. It's just little differences and little touches like that. The shower itself is a sliding shower, as you can see. And then you've got that handheld device by Myra. That's lovely. So it's a thermostatic shower. And then here we've got our sink with a floating vanity by Rocker, and the tap is a Bristol tap. Again, the toilet is by Rocker, and then we've still got that shelf here. Beautiful again. So I'm looking for the shaver socket. I think that would probably be an additional extra to add that on. Something to discuss with the sales team, but this would be a perfect place to put a shaver socket, and then you can charge your toothbrushes here right by where you need it. And there is a window and a heated towel rail in this room. And that pretty much, I think, concludes the entire tour. I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, that was a real bed and it's comfortable. I could have fallen through if I wasn't careful. But it's not that kind of staging. This is a more realistic vibe. So did you enjoy that? Did you see anything that you thought we missed or we should have pointed out? Leave it in the comments below. And most of all, subscribe so you get notified when next week's video comes up, and then you can click on any of these videos that pops up on screen so you get more property vlogs straight away. All right, bye.